Hello, here we are again in not so sunny day. Bit gloomy, it's supposed to rain, but nevertheless, check it out. We have tons of stuff that we harvested from our vegetable garden. We have cherry tomatoes. We have, what is this, Carabao tomatoes? Big tomatoes anyway. And then onions. Basil. Garlic from the supermarket. And we also have some eggplants. And of course, tomatoes that are not so ripe yet. Anyways, so we thought we should make use of this. So we're gonna make tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce. We're by no means expert in doing that. We did a couple of research here and there in YouTube. And I think it's straightforward. Okay, we're just gonna saute onion, garlic, and throw in the tomatoes. I'm gonna mix these varieties of tomatoes and then simmer it, and then in all of this in olive oil, and then after we're gonna put basil when it's done, and at the end we're gonna be making spaghetti using the homemade sauce that we made. And then, us being Filipinos, we have our own version of spaghetti. It's Filipino style spaghetti. It's a little bit sweeter than the traditional, and we usually use whatever cold cuts we could find. And in this case, it would be the all beef hot dog and some pepperoni. So anyway, to begin with, let's start with our sauce. Okay, first and foremost, we're just gonna chop this garlic. Okay, so I chopped some garlic and onions, and now the big tomatoes. Just cut it in half, and we're just gonna slice them or chop them. And cherry tomatoes as is. You know, by the way, wash them well. And so I'm just gonna cut it following the size of our cherry tomatoes. And like I said, I don't know what kind of big tomatoes this. So I got this much to chop and slice, so see you in a bit. Finally chop some basil from the garden. We're gonna put this at the end. Okay, we're ready. Okay, first extra virgin olive oil. Okay, your pan shouldn't be too hot because you don't want the olive oil to start smoking and all that. That's no good. And also garlic and onion, you're just gonna make them sweat but not brown them, because we don't want burnt onion and garlic on our tomato sauce. Saute this gently. In olive oil. That's good. We're just gonna simmer with the tomatoes. And with all this, increase the temperature. We're gonna bring it to a boil and then simmer it and leave it alone. Starting to rain. Let it boil first, and then we'll put a little bit of sugar, pepper, and salt. Okay, it's been boiling for 10 minutes, so we're gonna season it. Salt, pepper, sugar. Initial, how much? It's not relevant at this point because it's gonna depend on your taste anyway in the end. But for now, while it's boiling, we just need to season it. So that was a little bit of pepper, a little bit of sugar, and salt. And just leave it alone. Got all the cherry tomatoes. Okay, they're all warped now and everything. I'm gonna leave it uncovered at this point to let the water evaporate, and would make it more concentrated and thick. Okay. Now I'm just using the handheld blender. Prepare it that way. You don't have to. Okay, this is good now. This is the first cooking process, right? Now we're gonna stock this up in the fridge or in the freezer, and every time we would need, then we will just prepare it accordingly. But this one is good now. So turn that up already. And lastly, we'll put basil. There you go. Homemade tomato sauce from our vegetable garden. Now we have a supply of tomato sauce that we could use accordingly, whatever dish it may be. Like for tonight's supper, we're gonna make Filipino spaghetti. And stay tuned, that's gonna be next. Now we're gonna be making spaghetti Filipino version or Filipino style, using the tomato sauce that we just made. Okay, and our meat would be just like Jollibee, probably the most famous spaghetti on mainstream is the way Jollibee does it. And usually they just use ham, sausages, salami and all that. Well, we have all beef sausage and salami, so we're gonna be using that. Okay, so we'll start with the meat, and we're just gonna assemble it with the sauce and everything else. Our spaghetti, by the way, or Filipino version, is a little bit sweet, or I like it a little bit sweet, but for some it's very sweet. The spaghetti sauce of Jollibee is actually very, very sweet. Some people even call it pasta dessert. But for me, I like mine to be a balance of sourness of the tomato, the flavor of the meat, and a touch of sweetness. So we're gonna be using honey, and then while we're cooking it, I'm gonna put in some shredded cheese, cheddar shredded cheese. I don't have the real thing, I only have the vegan one, so why not? Now, maybe about 5 minutes of doing that in olive oil. Put in the sauce. Cheese, make it creamy and sticky. How much? How much do you want? It's up to you. Now, put some honey. How much? Again, that's all up to you. Little bit at a time. Then mix it, taste it, see how it goes. Now your temperature doesn't have to be so high. I put it into like medium high because I want the flavor of the processed meat to incorporate into the sauce. So sort of like simmering it medium high. And now because of the cheese, look, so much thicker and creamier. Now let's see if it's sweet enough. For me it's good. Oh, this tomato is so good. Oh wow. So there you have it. I mean, we're just gonna simmer it some more, but that's done already. You see the consistency of the sauce because of the cheese that we put, it made it more creamier and thicker. And I'm simmering it because I just want the flavor of the processed meat to be more incorporated in the sauce. We put honey to the right sweetness that we want. So, Filipino-style spaghetti. Al dente pasta. Tomato. Homemade tomato sauce. A little bit of sweetness. Cheese on cheddar cheese on top. We don't use Parmigiano cheese on top. With cheddar cheese. This was made from our produce, the garden, the sauce I mean. So, there you have it, my friends. Another good day for cooking and utilizing what we have planned. So stay tuned. Till next time, have a great day.